From the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
New insight on this man accused of holding 13 people hostage at a Northwest Jacksonville bank.
Good kid, but I mean, like I said, I think he has some mental issues.
Nicholas Humphrey's father speaking with News 4 Jax about an alarming moment he shared with his son just last night. Plus, another account of the terrifying moments the hostages knew they were in trouble.
I was praying ever since when I got in there until I got out of there that he didn't come to that door.
But I thought he was going to start shooting people because he said he was going to shoot them.
In the morning, the 23-year-old suspect will appear before a judge for the first time, and he'll have to start answering to 15 charges.
For 2 hours this afternoon, police say he held 13 people hostage inside the Community First Credit Union in Northwest Jacksonville. This evening, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office released Humphrey's new mugshot. He is charged with 13 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of armed bank robbery, and 1 count of auto theft. And tonight, we're hearing from the suspect's father. First, Francesca Amaker. She spoke with one of the people held hostage inside the bank. Fran, he actually needed immediate medical attention.
Yes, of course, officials did say no one was harmed, even though we are told that Nicholas held a gun to some of these people's heads. But the man I spoke with, fortunately, he was able to make it into an office where he and a couple of other hostages locked themselves off. But at the end of this, he had to need medical attention.
Life ain't promised to nobody.
And Mr. Green was taken to the St. Vincent's, where he was met by family members and friends. He's expected to be okay, but he says he will never forget what happened to him and 12 others today. For now, reporting, Francesca Amaker, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Fran. And tonight we're hearing from another person in the credit union who's credited with creating a distraction that allowed the SWAT team to move in. That man is highlighted in this video. This is video of the hostages being released. Frank Brown is his name, and he was a customer at the Community First Credit Union this morning. He talked to us at his home shortly after he was released. He says he managed to hide from the suspect. He also said he thought people were going to die.
He had them all in a room. And so I said, okay, let's go. I jumped up. When I went to go, my leg was asleep. I took out about 3 rows of chairs. Boom, 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 boom. But that was good because that started him and he ran out to give everybody else a chance to run out the door.
Police say that distraction gave SWAT team members the chance to move in and get between the hostages and Humphrey.
Tonight, Humphrey's father spoke only with News 4 Jax, saying he thought as recently as last night his son needed to be committed. Channel 4 Scott Johnson joining us live from jail with that interview and a look at Humphrey's past. Scott?
Well, Joy, as far as we can tell, this is the 3rd time he's been locked up in a jail cell in the last year. Talking to his father, he says his son has gone downhill mentally considerably in recent months.
So thank God that Jazel did a fine job of handling the situation.
And so he tells me he does want to talk to his son and hasn't had a chance with all the chaos involving the SWAT team and the arrest. He will be in court tomorrow morning with his son for his first appearance in front of the judge here downtown at the jail, where I am live. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Scott. And family members waited desperately for 2+ hours to find out if their loved ones were okay inside the credit union. It was extremely tense, but when those family members saw the hostages walking across the street here to safety, they all breathed a sigh of relief.
We've been praying for you, baby. We've been praying for you. I just want to hold you, love.
Let me talk to my niece.
I just want to love you.
You can see where the bank's been boarded up. That's where JSO made entry there. The credit union plans to reopen Monday.
The hostages survived and are physically unharmed, but experts say they need to take care of themselves because they could suffer psychological problems. Tonight, we spoke with a forensic psychologist about those effects, plus his thoughts about the suspect.
It sounds like there's some level of confusion, that there's some level of disorientation. Why go into a bank to ask that question, to ask those questions?
We may know the actions that police say 23-year-old Nicholas Humphrey took inside this Community First Credit Union Thursday morning, but forensic psychologist Dr. Stephen Bloomfield says there is still much to be determined about what was going on mentally with the man accused of holding 13 people hostage for 2 hours.
Well, what sticks out to me is the incongruity of the situation, coming into a bank with a pit bull, firing a shot in the air, and then saying he doesn't want any money, that he may have had other demands.
Demands that one of the hostages told us included seeing his family.
I used to speak to his family. He said he wanted his wife, his mother-in-law, and his father to come to the bank. He wanted to talk to them. He said he didn't want no money.
And that's something Dr. Bloomfield says may indicate Humphrey has deeper issues.
I'm not sure if there's a mental issue or not. Some of the things that could be at play are anxiety, panic. He could have panicked. He could have went in for some reason and then got in over his head and started asking for parents.
Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams says Humphrey did put a gun to some of the hostages' heads, and he even threatened to kill them. Dr. Bloomfield says, though that didn't happen, it could still have major effects on the hostages psychologically in the coming days.
The hostages have to watch a little. You know, if they're anxious and nervous for 24, 48 hours, that's okay. If they continue to be anxious and nervous after that, like going to work or going into banks or being around a lot of people, losing sleep, having nightmares, having a flashback, they should check in with somebody.
Dr. Bloomfield says families should keep their loved ones who endured this experience held accountable. If, for example, they're an outgoing person, but they suddenly no longer go out, they should urge that family member to get help.
Sheriff Mike Williams apologized to a mother tonight. The sheriff inadvertently named a woman's son, who was a teller inside the credit union, as a suspect. DeAndre Schumann is a bank teller at this credit union. His mother, Latarsha Schumann, says that she was disappointed that her son was accidentally named the gunman.
The father of DeAndre came to the scene and said, hey, my son's in the bank. And so by the time we got him to the command post, all of the takedown was happening, all that. So just in the confusion, that name was applied as the suspect. So again, an error on our part, an error on my part for putting that out.
Schumann's mom is thankful that her son and the hostages made it out.
Now, it's not a situation many are prepared for, being taken hostage. We spoke with our crime and safety analyst, Gil Smith, about what to do if you were ever in a situation as 13 others were this morning.
The most important thing to remember is that the first 15 to 45 minutes are the most dangerous part of a hostage situation, because the perpetrator, he's in panic mode. He's not sure what to do. Maybe he didn't plan to take hostages. Now he finds himself in a dangerous situation. As a hostage, you want to get rid of anything that the perpetrators may see that may consider you to be a threat. For example, if you're former law enforcement or some type of government agent, get rid of that. Or if you have photographs with prominent family members or public officials, get rid of that. That may make them fearful of you.
Gil also says don't argue with them and treat the hostage takers nicely. Try to remember as much information as possible in case you're released during an ordeal. You can then tell officers how many hostage takers there are, as well as how many hostages or what type of weapons they have. Also, you want to listen to their conversations and try to remember what they're talking about. We are continuing to follow this story on our digital platforms. Head to news4jax.com to hear the uncut interview with one of the hostages. And be sure to have mobile alerts enabled on our app so you can get updates right to your phone.
It's a story that is positively Jax. Thousands of toys are donated for the Children's Christmas Party of Jacksonville.
Still ahead, when the party will take place and where you can still donate toys.
And after a dreary day like what we had here today, you'll be pleased to know some sunshine is in the forecast. But despite the sunny glow, the temperatures will stay low. We'll take a look at how low coming up.
See you then, Mark. And next, a local police union reacts to Mayor Lenny Curry when he said the city may owe $45 million more annually for pensions.
News 4 Jax, covering the big local stories from your neighborhood.
A local breaking news alert now from the south side. Police are investigating a deadly crash near Atlantic Coast High School. About 20 minutes ago, our night cam crew reported emotional family members were at the scene of this crash. It's at Skinner Parkway and Bay Meadows Road. Police are investigating why the car crashed into a tree. It happened about 8 o'clock tonight. We know one person has died in this. 2 others have been rushed to a hospital. Look for updates on the morning show. New information on a wreck on the south side. We've, in the past hour, learned 18-year-old Denny Grahovic died of his injuries. 2 others, a woman and a teen, they are still in the hospital with critical injuries. That accident happened this morning about 10. It was at the intersection of Beach Boulevard and St. John's Bluff Road. Police say a woman driving this Nissan SUV ran a red light at high speed, jumped the median, slammed into the Honda you saw in the pictures, and then hit a commercial gasoline tank truck and a Lexus. That woman, Grahovich, and his 16-year-old passenger, they were all rushed to a hospital. That's where Grahovich died of his injuries. Reaction tonight from the Fraternal Order of Police. The union president responding over Mayor Lenny Curry saying that the city may owe $45 million more for pensions per year than previously expected.
In a statement, the FOP says all one has to do is go to the Police and Fire Pension website and look at the transcript from the board workshop meeting on January 5th, 2016. In this meeting, it clearly shows the city's treasurer knew about the salary growth. Later in the statement, the FOP says, we either have an incompetent city treasurer or this was motivated by political reasons in the middle of contract negotiations.
Our 5 powerful radar sweeps give you 5 times more coverage, letting you know when severe weather's coming, hours before it happens. Channel 4 is the weather authority.
I think we'll all agree that today wasn't the best of our weather here along the First Coast. The clouds, the cool temperatures. And in the forecast, the sun's coming back tomorrow. Send us your pictures. We'll get them on the air. Just download the Storm Pins app, and we'll be able to get them right here on News4JAX.
Bet you're going to bet your bottom dollar there this sun would come out tomorrow. Anyway, thousands of new toys are donated here at Channel 4 today. This is for the Children's Christmas Party of Jacksonville. The annual toy giveaway takes place in just over a week. Saturday, December 10th. It'll be from 9 in the morning until 12:30 p.m. at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. There's no registration with toys given out first come, first serve. You can still donate new unwrapped toys at Ace Hardware locations in Jacksonville. It is a victory lap of sorts, but the election winner calls it a thank you tour.
What President-elect Donald Trump told a crowd in Cincinnati tonight and his plans for his first term. President-elect Donald Trump is going on a thank you tour.
Mr. Trump, along with Vice President-elect Mike Pence, held a rally in Cincinnati tonight. Mr. Trump said that he needs people to continue fighting for his proposals. He also reassured people that he'll keep his campaign promises. And he took some time to discuss that attack at Ohio State University Monday.
Your state has just experienced a violent atrocity at the great Ohio State University. And that is a great place. That further demonstrates the security threats that are created. And these are just threats that are stupidly created by our very, very stupid politicians. Refugee programs.
Earlier in the day, President-elect Trump visited the Carrier Company in Indianapolis. Earlier this week, Trump had tweeted that he reached a deal to keep Carrier in the U.S. Our news partner at CNN reports that Carrier is getting $7 million in incentives over the next 10 years. The company will also get $500,000 a year in state income tax refunds as long as it keeps more than 1,000 manufacturing jobs in that state.
10 people are confirmed dead in wildfires raging in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So far, the only name released by officials is 70-year-old Alice Haglers. The Johnson City Professional Firefighters Association posted this picture on its Facebook page. These 5 firefighters all fell asleep right there on the sidewalk shortly after having a meal. They had been fighting wildfires in Gatlinburg for 30 consecutive hours. The blazes in that area have spread to 15,000 acres. They've destroyed hundreds of structures.
Yeah, wishes for them to get that under control. And wow, what a photo of them just collapsed there.
Puts it in perspective.
So it's December. That means they're getting in the Christmas spirit.
After sports, a look at the final time the Obamas will light the tree and how long this tradition has held its place on the calendar.
Being raked could be a huge distraction for a team that hasn't tasted that kind of success in a very long time. But Mike White is not going to let that be an issue for the Gators. Tonight, they were in town taking on UNF. Got those highlights for you coming up next in sports. On Monday, the Gators cracked the top 25 for the first time since 2014.
History, so why not? Let's make history with the win this week.
That game gets started tomorrow night at 7:30. We've already got 4 schools that are going to be down there in Orlando, so Lee could be the 5th one.
Put another one in.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
Chill won't have as much of an impact down there over Central Florida. Tomorrow will. Certainly for tonight, but the next 2 nights really chilly there in the low 40s. Then the warm-up begins here over the weekend. I think those small rain chances Sunday, Monday, that's mainly for our friends in Georgia here during the afternoon, but I think Tuesday will do better than the rain we had today, wetter then.
All right, thanks. So for the final time, President Obama and his family officially lit the national Christmas tree.
First Lady Michelle Obama and younger daughter Sasha helped the president light the tree tonight in President's Park. Tonight's celebration included a concert with Kelly Clarkson, Mark Anthony, Garth Brooks. The national Christmas tree, it's been a Washington tradition for more than 90 years. And it was so nice that Sasha was there. They didn't have to use the nephews, right. You know? She's like, I guess so, Mom.
Kids weren't brought out tonight, as the president's been doing recently. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Don't forget, the morning show starts at 4:30 a.m. For news anytime, head to our web channel, news4jax.com.
At News4Jax, we're always covering the news, even when we're not on TV. Stay informed, on the go, and online at news4jax.com.